Alright, y'all, so look, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the absolute bangers on some fight just announced by Dana White. UFC 299's newest fight, Dustin Soyboy Poirier going against Benoit Saint Denis, and UFC 300's newest fight, Charles do Bronx Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. These are absolute bangers coming from the UFC, added to already stacked cards. Well, I'm presuming that UFC 300 is going to be stacked, but UFC 299 is already stacked. We got Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. We got Curtis Blades versus Jilton Almeida. Matius Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos. That's alright. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Dada Malalena. Piotr Yan versus Song Yadong. And Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. Oh my God, 299 is stacked. I'm smelling a pullout because it's too good to be true. These fights are too good to be true. I'm smelling a pullout, and it's most likely gonna be who's it gonna be? Low-key Gilbert Burns. I ain't gonna cap. If I had to pick, I'd say Gilbert Burns. You know, he's coming off of that little shoulder injury and everything. But let's get right into it. For the first fight, we got UFC 299, Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. And for my first bullet, I don't know, I kind of have some qualms with this fight. There's nothing to gain, but everything to lose for DP, vice versa for Benoit Saint Denis, honestly. Dustin Poirier is coming off of a brutal head kick KO by Justin Gaethje in July. And, you know what I'm saying, this is relatively a decent comeback, you know, coming off of a brutal head kick KO. But Benoit Saint Denis is on a five-fight winning streak, and you know he's 12th in the rank. He's hungry. He's a hungry prospect, a hungry rising prospect. Dustin Poirier is kind of at the end of his career. You know, I believe I saw some interviews about him talking about you know hand picking his fights, you know, cherry picking his fights for only title shots. But Islam Makhachev is the king. He runs the world. He makes the rules type shit. So I guess him and the UFC were beefing, and they're like, fuck you, we're gonna give you the number 12 ranked lightweight in the fucking division. You either win it or don't. You know what I'm saying? You have nothing to gain. He's number 12 in the division, but everything to lose, because if you lose to the number 12, he takes your spot. You know what I'm saying? You go down, it's gonna look bad for him, bro. Kind of, it's a hit or miss. This is like, you can only win from here if you're Dustin Poirier. So, you know, it's kind of iffy for him right there. Potential title shot for Benoit Saint Denis. You know, he beats the number 3 ranked contender in the weight class. That's, I don't know, man. He's up there for title shot, or he's up there because his stock is just going to rise astronomically if he beats Dustin Soyboy Poirier, who don't got jiu-jitsu. But no, Benoit Saint Denis beating Dustin Poirier would be insane. You know, five fight winning streak, coming off of a win against Matius Gamrot, Mac Frivola, Thiago Moises. I think he only has one loss on his record. He's like virtually undefeated. Obviously, he has one loss, but 13 fight wins, one loss. It's gonna be insane. I low-key think this is gonna be a barn burner because Benoit Saint Denis is pretty scrappy, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be nice. But for my last bullet, super risky for DP. I kind of said this. Benoit Saint Denis virtually has zero weaknesses to exploit. You know what I mean? This is gonna be a real barn burner of a fight. I see both of these guys. You know, Benoit Saint Denis is a rising prospect. He's gonna be hungry. DP is kind of at the tail end of his career, kind of handpicking fights, but he's like, okay, bet this is like a rising contender. Let me, you know, absorb all of his hype, add it to some of mine, and then I can potentially get a title shot. But absolute banger of a fight for UFC 299, absolute killer edition. Love to see it. On to the next fight. We got Charles do Bronx against Arman Tsarukyan. Low-key, this is a sleeper banger. Oh my, it's not even a sleeper banger. These are two insane fighters. Both of them are coming off of brutal KO wins against Beneil Dariush. Oh my God, Beneil Dariush is literally like the benchmark, dude. You like absorb Beneil Dariush. When has Beneil Dariush ever been good, honestly? Both coming off of brutal KO wins off of Beneil Dariush. Charles de Oliveira, I think beat Beneil Dariush in June. Head kick KO. Lead up with some ground and pound. You know, Arman Tsarukyan just coming off of a win against Beneil Dariush in UFC Fight Night. Dude, in December, this is gonna be a banger. Both are Islam Makhachev victims, though. I'm not gonna cap, but you kind of have to agree that Arman Tsarukyan, his first fight coming into the UFC was a streaky contender in Islam Makhachev, so he's gotten so much better, and I want to see this fight. But at the same time, I don't want to see this fight, but we're gonna get into that later. For my third bullet, Islam Makhachev is injured, so the winner of this fight fights Islam during the summertime. I don't believe Islam's injured. I believe he's running through a cycle. You know, those Dagestani inbreds, bro. Stop it, bro. Dude, come on. What? He's not injured, bro. But they say he's injured. The winner of this fight gets an instant title shot, I guess. I'm gonna get into what that means in a second. And for my fourth bullet, this kind of kills the hype for a potential Islam executioner. You know, these two. Charles Oliveira is the first rank in the lightweight division. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to see him against Islam. He was supposed to go against Islam in UFC 294, the Abu Dhabi card in October, but he got injured. And, you know what I'm saying, we haven't seen him since. The Beneil Dariush fight. So, I don't know, man. I think he's to get the cobwebs off a little bit so he can, like, warm himself up to go against Islam. I'm telling you, Charles is scared of Islam. It's confirmed. And then Arman Tsarukyan, you know, just coming off of that knee, that flush flying knee against Beneil Dariush, first round KO. I think it didn't even go a minute. You know what I mean? We wanted to see either of them go against Islam and potentially come on top. But a fight between the two of them kind of kills the other one's hype, the loser's hype. So it's kind of risky for both of them. You know, Charles DuBronc's insane record, you know, he was the former champion, but his only loss in like an 11-fight win streak is against Islam Makhachev. And then going on to Arman Tsarukyan, his only loss in the UFC was his introductory fight into the UFC against Islam Makhachev. So this is a really like high stakes fight for the both of them. And then for my last bullet, Justin Gaethje versus Holloway confirmed, because Dana White said that Islam's not coming back until the summertime. I know Ramadan is in like around, I think, the ending of March, beginning April, and then it's going on to that, like all of that April. So summertime, maybe he fights on International Fight Week on a McGregor card, maybe. You never know. But Dana White has announced that Islam Makhachev is not going to be coming back until the summertime. So what does that mean for Justin Gaethje? I think he's fighting in UFC 300 against Holloway. It's confirmed right now. Dude, I mean, honestly, at this point, Islam's the king. He's picking his fights. He wants to go up and fight in welterweight, become double champ. You know what I'm saying? He's not even looking at the lightweight division. I don't know. I kind of have mixed opinions about that. You can see it in my my dream fights list. I don't know, but not my dream fights list, but my honest opinions on champions right now. I think Islam should fight a contender in his weight class. He shouldn't be trying to, go up a weight class and trying to, get that champ status. His 2 wins are against Alexander Volkanovski, a featherweight. He needs to fight somebody in his weight class, especially a streaky contender like, Arman Tsarukyan. I know they fought before, and I know he beat them, but that was like 4 years ago, dude, when Arman Tsarukyan was a novice. He was like an egg. And Islam Makhachev was a streaky contender, Habib plan, type shit. But these are absolute bangers from the UFC. They dropped it when I was sleeping. I was dead sleep. Bro, I can't wait. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.